Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about Back to the Future in an ending scene. And the director of this movie is Robert Zemeckis. And we're going to go ahead and show you that scene now.
Okay, so the first question that we had to ask you was what stood out to you throughout the scene. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to go ahead and think of those ideas before we show you our own. Okay, so the things that we came up with were the camera angles. So when we see Marty from above, he's made to seem really small in comparison to all of the stuff that's going on around him. The shadows in the scene. So as Doc goes into the darkness, Marty isn't able to tell him about his death, and those shadows kind of just give you like that gloomy kind of feeling. The clock tower creates an anxious feeling as you listen to the bell kind of count down the time. The lightning, so the electricity from the lightning makes the scene seem more time sensitive, and it kind of gives it that faster pace that gives you that anxious feeling. And then to tie all of these together, we found a paper by Melanie Fawcett, which is where this quote is from. And it kind of just talks about how symbolism in films or writing or whatever it might be can represent a lot of different complex ideas put into a lot of simpler things. They can also convey the author or filmmaker's opinions on certain subjects, and they encourage deeper thinking and better understanding as well. So they kind of just talk about the importance of symbolism.
So for our next question, we did how did the background music make you feel towards the scene? And again, I'm just going to give you a couple more seconds just to interpret what you feel about the scene. So for us, we picked out the trumpets, the bells, the xylophone, and the trombone. For the trumpets, the staggering of the trumpets creates an almost urgent feeling of the task at hand. So the task at hand being Marty getting into the future in time. And for the trumpets, it's just those staggering notes again that make us feel really urgent and really just on the edge of whether he's going to make it back in time. The bells and the xylophone toward the end of the scene give a really speed up the scene of the movie and gives the audience almost a rush feeling of alarm to give them that suspenseful feeling on whether Doc and Marty are going to make it in time. And the trombone has elongated notes, so the trombone creates a suspenseful feeling which foreshadows that something bad is about to happen. And whether that foreshadowing is Doc not making it in the future or Marty just not getting in the car in enough time. So yeah.
For our last question is, did this scene make you feel a particular emotion towards Doc? And once again, we're going to give you a little bit of time to think about it. Okay, so the emotions that we decided you could feel towards Doc was suspense, sadness, and regret. And the suspense comes when the bells ring to cut off Marty from telling Doc about his future of him almost dying. And this kind of goes into sadness because we get that foreshadowing that Doc's future may end soon if Marty doesn't get to tell him. And when Marty doesn't get to tell him, we get that sense of regret because he just doesn't have enough time and we want him to be able to have enough time.
So now we're just going to play the clip one more time to show you what we saw and see if that you can pick out the music and the feeling of the scene. So this concludes our presentation and we hope you enjoyed.